But as an individual in public service, I also took advantage of your theme to reflect on the brand I work for, Brand Ghana. And in so doing, ladies and gentlemen, I find that your theme engenders myself and my colleagues in public service to reflect on how we are also responding to the same test that we're asking you to administer to yourselves. First, if we are to build a future-ready brand out of Brand Ghana, then all of us must be clear in our mind that we work for Brand Ghana. I should not think that I work for MPP. My friend should not think that she works for the NDC. The third person ought not to think that they work for the Church of Pentecost or the Ahmadiyya Muslim movement. We don't work for Asantes or Gonjes or Ewes or Achims. We don't work for Kotoko or Hearts. We don't work for Absa Bank or ADB. We work for Brand Ghana. And we need to put the interest of Brand Ghana topmost in all that we do. For we as a people appear often more interested in self, in groups, than the national collective. Second, we must do better in defining the purpose of Brand Ghana for all of us to identify with. We must do better in ensuring that the average Ghanaian has the same understanding of what we stand for as a nation. Just as corporate brands must define their purpose, we working for Brand Ghana and the nation must better articulate the overarching purpose. Our forebears enjoined us to focus on building a nation of freedom and justice. A Ghana where every person freely enjoys the benefits of a just society. I believe that this should serve as the fulcrum around which we define the norms of Brand Ghana. Third, and in applying the same test, we must do better at setting out and upholding a set of norms to which we all must answer. As the global president spoke, he talked about the Equiapims, and he talked about the value or the norm of community. Values such as community, integrity, personal responsibility, and entrepreneurship are values that our society upheld many centuries ago. I believe that they are the norms that we need to consider and perhaps go back to. A people who are given to parochial interests of family, ethnicity, or religion, a people living comfortably with corruption, persistent negativity, and sheer wickedness to one another, cannot succeed at building a nation free and just, a nation great and strong. We must better examine the subject of norms to which we all must hold. I apply the fourth test to us as well, a reflection for those of us in government to question the structures that we have designed ostensibly to deliver value for our clients, the people. Just as we are today encouraging corporations and you, the private sector, to establish effective organizational structures, we too should question the structures that we have built. Are they really delivering? Are they really effective? How well are we promoting participation and contribution from all of society, as we will expect from all of organization if we were in the private sector? Number 5, what is the value that we're actually creating out of Brand Ghana? What is the promise of performance when you tell anyone, internally or externally, about our brand? Is it that of a robust, stable economy over 35, 40, 50 years and counting? One that supports innovation and investment, one designed to empower the next generation, an ecosystem where the young are at the center of designing solutions, products, and services, because that's what we're asking the private sector to do. We should apply this test to ourselves as well. Number 6, the measure of our progress and our success. We must establish clear metrics to evaluate our agreed KPIs as a nation. If part of our value proposition as Brand Ghana is, for example, to improve healthcare delivery, then our KPI is to measure the doctor-to-patient ratio. And this ought to be the predominant conversation in our country. We must spend more time as a nation focusing on our KPIs and less on sensation and allegations, just as we would do if we were in the private sector, spending more time talking about our targets and our strategies and our KPIs than the gossip in the organization. And then, number 7, we should be loud on rewards and sanctions as we ask the private sector to do so. To build future-ready brands, we need to encourage the private sector to recognize and incentivize excellence while addressing obstacles properly and we need to do same in public service as well. It's something that we should embrace. Finally, innovation must be at the heart of public service delivery. Our institutions must make innovation and forward thinking the norm and not the exception. The story that says that this is how we do it in this organization must give way to the new story of this is how we ought to do it to be future ready. This is why the recent innovation of digitization of public services represents such a breath of fresh air, and we must all embrace it. It's also why those who resist innovation and fresh ideas in public service must be moved to make way for the forward thinkers who are keen to build future-ready brands. For example, at the Information Services Department, we are implementing a transformation program, and we are keen to move with those who are willing and ready to move with us. Those who are not will have themselves to blame, unfortunately. Just as we're asking you, the corporate brand, to introspect and answer these critical questions to shape your purpose and be future ready, I believe we as a nation must do same of ourselves. Be we a corporate or a national brand, to be future ready, these are some of the difficult considerations that we must make. And when we are done, we must be bold to shed off some of the things that we have done in the past and take tough decisions to explore new paths, without regard to whose ox will be gored. That is when we stand a chance of being ready for the future rather than being champions of the past. We have demonstrated in times past that we have the ability to surmount even the toughest of challenges, and I'm optimistic that if we put our best effort and brains to this, we can excel. I thank you, and I wish you the best in your reflections.